Nancy? Is that a nickname?
Folks, my name is J.D. Marr, and I'm a retired television meteorologist in Sacramento. I'm also a 37-year current teacher in the Elk Grove Unified School District. I live in El Dorado County, but I've just moved to Amador County, and my wife is a nurse. And again, I'm very, very honored to have been asked to be here today. My father was a veteran. All my uncles were veterans. I'll have an opportunity later to talk a little bit about my father and tell a few stories about him, but I'm happy to be here. We want to begin our program in a moment. We're going to have our presentation of the colors, first of all. But let me describe what you're about to see. We're honored to have representatives from the Transportation Security Administration Color Guard from Sacramento International Airport. They'll be presenting the colors. We have Jamisa Riddick, William Ray. We have the captain of the TSA, Honor Guard, Jenny Angel. Presenting the colors will be Mary Becker, a Transportation Security Officer, and John Hamill, the lead Transportation Officer. And in a moment when we present the colors, I'm going to ask you, of course, to stand if you can. And then right after the colors, Jack McGee, who is a member of the American Legion Post 108 in Jackson. He's also a Brother Sir Knight, 4th degree of the Golden Sierra Assembly. He's going to be singing our national anthem. And what a treat to have Jack McGee here. And then right after that, we are going to have a special presentation by Cliff Bales. Cliff is right up here in the front. Put your hand up there, Cliff. And Cliff, they tell me you're 100 years old. Is that right?
And 6 months.
And 6 months. I couldn't tell. But Cliff is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And then Congressman Tom McClintock is here. He has a special presentation, something to say to you and to all of our troops. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off now. If you please rise for the presentation of the colors, the national anthem, and our Pledge of Allegiance.
I expect all of you to help me sing. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, for truth and for all.
Cliff Bales, everyone. Thank you, Jack. God bless you. You can be seated. You know, it's been about maybe 15 years since I first met Tom McClintock. I can't remember if it was either when he was assemblyman or a state senator, but he's been both. And we have a mutual friend by the name of Gus Canellis. Gus passed away 4 years ago. He was an honorary lifetime member of the Marine Corps, and he was a veterans advocate. I know very well some of you might even know that name, Gus Canellis, because he fought hard for veterans' rights. And one day, he found out that there was a problem with the Vietnam Veterans Memorial at the state capitol. It was flooding. It had a drainage problem. And he tried everything to get the general services people to fix it. So he said, JD, because he used to come to my elementary school and teach kids about Florin Elementary and Florin history, he said, let's go, we're going to go see Tom McClintock. He didn't have an appointment. He felt he didn't need an appointment. He was an American citizen. That was just guts. So I tagged along. We go in. We sit down in his office. Gus Canellis explains to Tom McClintock the problem. And I kid you not, right in front of me, our U.S. representative now gets on the phone, calls the head of the General Services, and within 1 week, the flooding problem was gone at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial at the state capitol. And one of the things I love, because he's my representative too, is watching him on his various committees. He's on the Environmental Committee, the Judiciary Committee, and several other committees, the Budgetary Committee as well. And I love watching him on TV fighting for all of us in the 4th Congressional District. It's an honor to introduce my representative, your representative. Please welcome Tom McClintock.
Well, folks, you realize that just 1.3 million Americans out of a population of 321 million serve today in the armed forces. That means that just 0.4% of our population wakes up every morning with one goal in mind: to protect the other 99.6% of us. Only 7.3%, 7 among every 100 of us, have ever done so. And it is such an honor for me to be in your presence today. Those of you who stepped into harm's way, who risked everything, who postponed careers, who forwent so many holidays and time with your family, who sustained wounds, you can now look at these memorials and know how much you are respected, admired, and remembered by your fellow citizens. And for those of us who you protected with your sacrifice, we can look at these monuments and draw inspiration from your example. God bless every one of you. Thank God you were there to protect our country, to protect our freedom, to protect our Constitution, and to give inspiration to coming generations. And now I have the great honor to present on behalf of a grateful nation and on behalf of a grateful community, a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol, and a presentation which is really made to all of you. I wish to present to the oldest veteran here, Major Cliff Bales of the U.S. Army Air Corps, and later the U.S. Air Force, who flew the hump between India and China in the Second World War.
Thank you very much. I want to recognize this administrative assistant, Matt Reed. This is a team here, it's a team effort. Matt said, hey, don't worry about me. Matt, you're a big part of the Congressman's office and the staff, so God bless you and your work. And we truly appreciate you for joining. I must say that this is probably, an event like this is probably one of the highlights of being a U.S. Congressman. Would you agree with me? This is a man who fights for veterans. I know it, and I've seen it. God bless you and your work, and your whole family. Thank you. Before we begin our trip, we want to take a few moments to recognize several of our local dignitaries who have joined us. I'm going to say their names and titles. I have 3 of them here. We're so happy that they're with us. So hold your applause until all 3 names have been announced. Janelle Horn, El Dorado County Recorder Clerk, is here. John Hydal, District 1 Supervisor for El Dorado County. And Wendy Thomas, District 3 Supervisor for El Dorado County. All right. Here. Thank you. And John's right in the back. We want to thank Jeffrey Cannon from Young Dahl Consulting Group, Phoebe Carcott from the Pavilion's Memory Care, Maureen Lawrence from Elder Care Management, Gail Lohman and Kathy Hatton from Visiting Angels in Home Care, and Lori Windsor from Bright Star Care. Let's hear it for our steering committee. We also want to thank our veterans here in this room who stepped up to act as our squad leaders for each of our groups. You will see them around the room here. They have the white Mission to Honor shirts, and by donating their time to help us today, they have really made this day possible as well, and certainly more enjoyable. We greatly appreciate you. We thank you for your service. Let's have our squad leaders please stand and be recognized. At ease. Today is a special day. All you gotta do is look around. We have over 100 veterans in this room. Mission to Honor Veterans is an event that was especially created just for you. It was a way to say thank you for your service to our country. So we've created this personalized movie recreating what it would be like for all of us to actually travel to Washington, D.C., to see the war memorials dedicated to your honor. You notice as you came through our virtual airport, you noticed that we were joined today by the Sacramento Airport TSA, who was running our security checkpoint. We want you to please join me in thanking them for their time and also for presenting our colors to our members of the TSA. Okay, we're now ready to take off, so let's make sure that our seatbelts are fastened and we're ready for our flight.
Welcome to Southwest Flight 1945. This is a chartered plane just for you, our Mission to Honor Veterans. Our flight is expected to land in Baltimore, Maryland in approximately 6 hours. The weather is fair and we have a strong tailwind, so we just might arrive a little bit early. Ladies and gentlemen on this flight, please make sure your pretend seatbelts are buckled and we can take off shortly. On behalf of all of our crew today, we want to thank you for your service and hope you enjoy the flight. Thank you for flying Mission to Honor Veterans Airlines.
Okay, I practiced that at home. Here we go. We're actually starting the trip. We're fortunate to have a Grammy Award-winning musician on our flight, ladies and gentlemen. He has asked if he could play a song for you when we get up into the air. This is the chance, God gave us an imagination. This is our chance to really use it. And after our flight, we will board a bus, and we have a police escort in Washington, D.C., and most veterans get a real kick out of this as they see how the officer makes the traffic move over just for our pretend bus. The first stop on our tour will be, ladies and gentlemen, our veterans, Arlington National Cemetery, and the tomb of the unknown soldier.